In the APC, she was never in the Buhari camp. She did not support our candidates during the national convention. She did not vote for Buhari during the primaries.
After meeting President Muhammadu Buhari, Governor Nasiru El-Rufai describes comments by Women Affairs Minister Aisha Jumai Al-Hassan concerning her loyalty and interest regarding 2019 elections as normal and expected.
And it will promote the love of country and high civic values.
Program to inculcate civic values and patriotism using Nigerian languages launched by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
The only body that can call off that strike is the National Executive Council of NAD. And the meeting that will call off that strike we hold either today or tomorrow.
Association of Resident Doctors convenes meeting to consider agreements reached with federal government on ending ongoing strike. And young people from across Nigeria converge on Abuja to fast and pray for the nation. A very good evening. It's nice to have you join us on the NTA Network News for tonight. My name is Fumi Wakama. And in Lagos, we have Ademola Adeoye. And also reading with me tonight is Mariam Adura from Jos. Top members of governing All Progressives Congress have been reacting to comments attributed to Women Affairs Minister Aisha Jumai Al-Hassan concerning her loyalty and interest regarding 2019 elections. The latest is from Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai, who described her vituperations as normal and expected.
In the APC, she was never in the Buhari camp. She did not support our candidates during the national convention. She did not vote for Buhari during the primaries. But out of the largeness of the president's heart and to encourage women in politics, and he felt that even though she was never a supporter of his politics or what he believes in or his ideology, he still believed that to encourage women in politics and what she has tried to do in Taraba, he felt that she earned being nominated as a minister. Many people in the Buhari camp did not support it, but he overrode everybody because that's how he is. He tries to be inclusive. He tries to consider every Nigerian his own son or daughter. What is primary for him is Nigeria's progress and how well the government is doing and what everyone is contributing. That's what matters ultimately.
Do you think she should be retained in the cabinet?
It is the president's prerogative. Look, you can retain a person in the cabinet even if he doesn't support you, if he adds value to the country.
Governor El-Rufai, who had an audience with the president, dismissed rumors being peddled in some quarters regarding his presidential ambition, describing them as baseless and mischievous.
2019 is concerned, my position is the president is looking very well. He is recuperating very fast. He's recovering. And my hope and prayer is that he will contest in 2019 and everything that our group is doing. And we have a group. We have a group of Buharists amongst governors, ministers. Our group wants to ensure that President Buhari runs in 2019. And if he chooses not to run, he will tell us which direction to go and we'll go. We are Buharists. We don't have any personal ambition. We don't have any personal aspiration. And we are waiting for him to decide. Every political effort we are making, every structure we are creating is towards that end.
The governor said the APC Committee on True Federalism, which he chairs, is working assiduously towards meeting the expectations of the nation's majority on the unity, stability and development of the country. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress APC says it will not be deterred by recent negative comments credited to some of its members. National Vice Chairman of the party, Northwest, Abdulkadir Inuwa, who gave this indication at a media briefing, also cautioned against practices capable of slowing the party's prosperity. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Yes, like I said earlier, Elijah Atiku Abubakar has made his own contribution, like many other millions party members in 2015 elections, and emboldened the party. But the bigger picture given wasn't correct.
Lately, comments to the party attributed to some stalwart of the All Progressives Congress were found distasteful by the party, which triggered reactions by party executive with word of caution for party discipline and functional democracy for the nation and good governance.
So the party has a duty to ensure that at least party members are committed to the party, are committed to the principles of the party. APC respects the rights of all its members and the citizens of this country. I think morally are suspended if you find yourself in a situation of being a member of the cabinet or a member of the party. There are certain things that are expected from you because it sends wrong signal of your commitment to the party and what the person you are serving.
Abdulkadir Inuwa wants party members generally to pay attention to issues that will add value to the party's political fortune and uphold the progressive philosophy of APC geared towards uplifting living standards of the people and nation's cohesion and integration. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And away from party politics, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has launched a program designed to inculcate civic values and patriotism in the Nigerian society, especially with the use of indigenous languages as tools for communication. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Going by the acronym IYA, which stands for Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and all other languages in Nigeria, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the program would achieve several purposes.
It is homegrown, it will encourage the learning of indigenous languages, and it will promote the love of country and high civic values. Greatest assets are our young people, bright, creative, irrepressible. In technology, in music, and entertainment, we have proved that we are the future. Fortunately, that future is already here.
The Vice President observes that it's the duty of all Nigerians to make the country truly great, while urging Nigerians to strive towards defining Nigeria by its best. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo states that the country is gifted with some of the best people in the world.
This land of hardworking, resourceful, and decent people is also a nation where some corrupt politicians have looted the Commonwealth, where some parents encourage their children to cheat in examinations, where we have some 419 artists, some peddlers of hate, ritual killers, cultists, and all manner of other rascals. But so it is in other countries. The difference is that we sometimes allow ourselves to be defined by our worst and not our best. We must define ourselves, and we must define our nation by the best that we have.
Minister of Information Lai Mohammed says the IYA initiative of using indigenous languages in the dissemination of educative programs was a step in the right direction.
We need to take patriotism and nationalism to the front burner of our national life now and more than ever before.
The Nigerian Television Authority, the National Orientation Agency, and a non-governmental organization are collaborating on the program.
This event is geared towards the reaffirmation of our identity as Nigerians and the reassertion of our unity as one country.
Sensitize Nigerians and make them aware of the significance of our national values.
Let us make haste to bring about that era when the Hausas, the Igbos, and the Yorubas will speak of Nigeria as one nation with one God and one destiny.
There were cultural displays and rendition of the Nigerian national anthem and recitation of the pledge in indigenous languages. In Abuja, Jide Onifate, NT News.
And still staying with issues of patriotism. Wazobia is a popular slogan that binds Nigeria, driving home her uniqueness in diversity. This has been further strengthened by a group of young people determined to keep alive the nation's founding fathers' vision of a prosperous and united Nigeria. Uche Nwezo reports.
To serve Nigeria with all my strength. Bautawa Nigeria da dukkan zuciyata. Nigeria odi. Láti sìn pẹ̀lú gbogbo agbára mi.
They're aged 6 to 14 but have a common purpose to drive home Nigeria's strength in her languages and unity in diversity. With about 521 languages, Nigeria holds dear her national identity and spirit of patriotism, all of which are embedded in her national symbols, her pride. There are, however, setbacks that include hate speech, ignorance and nonchalant attitude to national identities and respect for nation building. This is the agenda for Hear Nigeria, an acronym for Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba and all Nigerian languages to sensitize Nigerians, especially at the grassroots.
To raise the consciousness of Nigerians to be active participants in the democratic, civic and the political processes.
The reaffirmation and reassertion of our values, cultures, and other symbols is significant. We in NTA will do everything we can to make sure that this project goes from strength to strength.
The catch for Hear Nigeria is to penetrate the people through the power of indigenous languages. Uche Nwezo, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the Forum of State Chairmen of the National Youth Council of Nigeria has held a 3-day fasting and prayer summit for the nation. Ogechi Paul was at the Eagle Square, Abuja, and reports that it was a 3-day event that attracted members from across the country.
Every Christian, every Muslim, please come, and we are one, an indivisible Nigeria.
Unmistakably, a large assemblage of Nigerian youths from across the country, religious persuasions and political inclinations, propelled by a conviction to foster and perpetuate a sense of unity, peace and well-being for Nigeria, the leadership and citizens. Another objective was to confine hate tendencies to the backburner.
I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that the creator of heaven and earth will hear the cries of Nigerian youth, who for the past 3 days have fasted and prayed for this intervention to restore our dear President Muhammad Buhari to excellent health and our land to the land of peace and prosperity.
The Christian and the Muslim have come together in one altar and pray to God. That is the pace we have set. And that is what we want to re-echo to our leaders. That what is not possible, they think we can do it right as young people of this nation.
Certain of the potency of fasting and prayers to the Almighty God, which they observed for 3 days, they gyrated with a perception of positive outcomes for their supplications while appealing against every negative incursion.
I prophesy to you, Nigeria, for every prayer we have started praying from the first day of this program,
But the spirit is one. We love Nigeria, and I assure you that Nigeria is indivisible.
The gathering has a dual blessing. First, prayers for the nation towards a functional development and the good health of Mr. President. And secondly, a veritable forum for a resurgence of the moribund national umbrella of the youth councils across the country.
I believe very strongly that we will get testimonies out of this program.
The major warring factions are part of this program. So for me, it's a dream fulfilled.
The national prayers by the Youth Forum could not have come at a better time, especially now with the nation's quest for revitalizing the youth for development, national integration, and the promotion of the nation's value system. Ogechi Paul, NTA News.
In the meantime, the leadership of the 19 northern states and the FCT of the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) is identified with President Muhammadu Buhari's belief in the indivisibility of Nigeria. This was the position at a one-day summit of the association in Abuja. Lydia Bassi reports.
The return of President Muhammadu Buhari from medical vacation abroad and his speech to Nigerians thereafter on pressing national issues like unity and security was described by the chairman of the association, Reverend Yakubu Pam, as a message of hope and an assurance of the president's uncompromising stand on national peace, development and unity.
These leaders in this summit today believe in the unity of this country. We therefore call on security agencies that they should ensure that Nigerians have the security of living wherever they are. The power of value. When you place value on people, you will prepare well for them and you will lead them well.
The objective of the summit is to give direction to the church and advice through dialogue with the leadership of the country to promote positive national growth.
We must be agitators for peace. We cannot afford as Christians to insinuate any other thing apart from peace.
CAN started in 1948 as Northern Christian Forum. It was formally registered as Christian Association of Northern Nigeria in 1974 and became the umbrella body for Nigerian Christians in 1975. Lydia Bassi, NTA News.
Mediators and conciliators in Nigeria have spoken of the need for alternative dispute resolution mechanism to be used in the controversies and disputes Nigeria is currently grappling with. This call was made in Abuja by officials of the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators at a special fellowship course. Femi Okeowo reports.
Mediation, arbitration and conciliation are all considered alternatives to litigation. But officials of the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators have said that the ADR processes can also be used to resolve electoral, political, economic, social and industrial disputes, some of which Nigeria is currently facing now.
Our services are available. We have written to government and the parties that we can offer pro bono services to enable them resolve their disputes.
The government can actually use them, because the word for conciliation is the person who is going to conciliate, because conciliation has become part of our arbitration law, the act. The person who is going to conciliate must be somebody who has no interest and somebody who is not a party to the conciliation.
Experts lament that the traditional African dispute resolution processes are fast being ignored in governance due to modernity.
With all our education, with all our sophistication, we still need to study mediation and conciliation as an appropriate method of resolving most conflicts.
The fellowship course is meant to impact on the participants the qualities of conflict resolution, part of which is to lessen destructive and unproductive fighting. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has assured that the federal government will sustain and build on measures put in place to bring the country out of recession. The minister stated this in Abuja when he granted audience to editors of some media houses. Anthony Forsen reports.
The minister told the editors that the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration has consistently lived by the campaign promises which brought it into power, and therefore will not be derailed by those who have consistently refused to recognize the achievements of the federal government.
Trying to downplay what has been achieved is nothing but bad politics. I know this good news of our emergence from recession has hit the naysayers very hard, but they should recover quickly and embrace the good news. But it can neither be denied nor wished away. Nigeria is out of recession.
The minister was emphatic about the commitment of the administration to reposition Nigeria for the overall interest of the entire citizenry.
Ensure that even when other areas of the economy were contracting, agriculture showed very, very good strength. And I'm very impressed, I'm rather very excited about the PIF, that is the Presidential Initiative on Fertilizers, because this is the first time in many years when, as a result of this intervention, farmers will be able to receive fertilizers well ahead of the planting season.
Convener of the group, Tijani Yusuf of Silverbird Television, assured the minister that they are ready to partner with the federal government and its quest to reposition the country, saying they will strive to check the trending of hate speech and fake news on their platforms.
They are core professionals, and I want to assure you that we are not hate speech promoter.
In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Still to come, military exercise Egu Eke Python Dance 2 underway in southeast zone of the country. Aim is to check criminality. Details of these and more when we come back.
From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria went through a horrifying civil war. It didn't matter who was wrong or right. Everybody suffered. Those who fought that war say it should never happen again.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail, would all have been in vain.
The words of our elders are full of wisdom.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Hey, now who they here? My name now Mr. Shortcut. I didn't mind my money. Now cheap one, I dey buy. Standard, we say. Now to buy cheap one. Hey, now one kind cable for my yard. A cheap building material where we take build my office. I think say I dey save money. Office building collapse and fire burn my house.
You don't see what happened to Mr. Shortcut? Well, Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, done ready for action and say enough of pain, loss and wastage. And if you see product where no dey correct, call the SON office when near you or SON help desk. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
The third quarter conference of the Conference of the Alumni Association of Nigerian Universities is scheduled to hold on Saturday, 9th September 2017 at the Bayes University, Abuja. The Honorable Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Senator Hajia Aisha Jummai Al-Hassan, will deliver the keynote address with title, The Imperative of Alumni Associations in Advancing University Education in Nigeria. The Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of Bayes University, Abuja, Senator Dr. Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, PhD, will be the chief host. 2 delegates, each from the federal, state, and privately owned alumni associations, are expected to attend. Professor Ahmed T. Mora, Wakali Magadin Zazao, National Chairman, Kanu, and National President, Ahmed Bello University Alumni Association, announcer.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie.
Please, sir, it's not Indomie. Don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Taste is the difference.
Yes, difference is in the taste. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis? Presenting Mortise Power Guard. Its powerful formula kills malaria mosquitoes fast. So get Mortise Power Guard.
A hectic lifestyle or overeating can cause a burning pain in your chest. That's heartburn. Take Gaviscon. One dose relieves in 3 minutes to soothe the pain of heartburn. It goes straight to the source to work for hours, providing long-lasting relief.
That's why I recommend Gaviscon.
I recommend Gaviscon. Gaviscon, fast relief you can actually feel.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is organizing a 3-day national conference on the transformation of Nigeria's livestock industry. Date 12 to 14 September 2017.
Time now 2 p.m. on the first day and 9 a.m. subsequently. Any inconvenience caused by this change is highly regretted. Venue International Conference Center, Abuja. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chief host, Audu Ogbe, OFR, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development. Invited guests include governors, National Assembly members, ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, development partners, delegates from ECOWAS countries, commissioners of agriculture in the 36 states of the Federation, as well as the FCT, professionals in the livestock industry, traditional rulers, farmers, and pastoralists. Announcer, Dr. Bukar Hassan, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
Glad to know you're still there watching the NTA Network News, and we'll begin this segment with security matters. A military exercise, Egu Eke, Python Dance 2, is underway in the southeast zone of the country. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, who announced this in a message, says it will, among other aims, check criminality in that zone. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
Lucky Ernest was lucky to have escaped armed robbery while on transit in the southeast zone. Many others are not so lucky, as they fall victims of these men of the underworld.
Some cover their face, then they many gonna collect people money. They beat people anyhow.
The Python dance in the zone is a security exercise aimed at retraining troops and to address the wave of criminal activities and violent agitations by secessionist groups prevalent in the southeast.
The objective was to effectively contain
the reported cases of kidnapping and other vices prevalent in the southeast region every Yuletide season.
To be conducted by the 82 Division Area of Responsibility, covering Abia, Anambra, Enugu and Imo states, commenced on 15 September to 14 October 2017.
The general public is requested to remain vigilant and be security conscious, as suspected criminals may be fleeing from military operations in these areas.
Similar exercise conducted in the region in 2016 led to the arrest of several criminals. Consequently, a hitch-free festive season was witnessed for the first time in many years. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
For the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) to maintain its position through quality television broadcasting, investment in the state-of-the-art equipment for efficiency becomes imperative. The Director General, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, made the assertion in a message to an interaction with members of Hotspot Media Group. Musa Abubakar brings us details. In that report, we probably will bring to you before the end of the bulletin. Moving on now, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, accompanied by the Head of Service of the Federation, Winfred Oyoita, were special guests at the ongoing African Arts and Crafts Expo in Abuja. Anthony Fosun was also there.
With a strong showing by African countries participating alongside states of the Federation, the Minister and the Head of the Civil Service took time to visit the pavilions to inspect items on display. The International Art and Craft Exhibition is geared towards serving as a platform for mobilizing stakeholders in the arts and culture industry, at which they interact, showcase talents and project the values of the people's heritage, as well as create a bond of national and African identity and cohesion.
Let Nigerians know that this government believes in this diversification of its economy, and that the creative industry in particular, arts and craft and the like, this is one area which is underexploited, and it can employ more people, it can create more wealth. And all you have seen today is just the skill, the talent of Nigerians. What you've seen here is adding value to materials that normally you would have, already thrown away.
What it goes to show us is that we have our own local traditions that we shouldn't allow to become extinct. Most of the Asian countries have improved the technology on their own traditional dresses, artworks and craft. So this is what we should do here.
The exhibition has been attracting a cross-section of people from all walks of life to the Art and Craft Village. In Abuja, Anthony Fosun, NTA News.
And back to our report in which we told you that for NTA to maintain its position through quality broadcasting, investment in equipment must be made. This was in a message the Director General, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, sent to an interactive session with members of Hotspot Media Group. Musa Abubakar now brings us the details.
Like every other profession, broadcasting has evolved over the years with the emergence and development of new technologies designed to promote efficiency and widen broadcasting landscape. Live View is the latest broadcasting technology driving live video revolution, providing live video streaming for television, mobile, online and social media. The competitive advantage of Live View is what Hotspot Media Group seeks to acquaint the management of NTA. The Director General of the NTA, represented by Executive Director Marketing, Salihu Dembos, said the NTA is committed to take advantage of technologies that will boost its outreach and give it competitive edge.
Trying to inject new ideas. We want to get back our viewers and also to reassure our business partners too that the doors of NTA are open for ideas.
Gone are the days where pretty much everybody would sit in front of a TV. So it's rather now getting access, data access on phones. And
you can put in a car, driving down to the airport, you can go live.
Even driving from one country to another, if you've got data roaming, it stays live all the time. And that's
the technology is set to provide a seamless broadband channel for live video transmission and is cost-effective. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And as the world moves from traditional reading, writing and counting skills to improved system to connect the world, migrating from traditional literacy to digital seems to be a challenge. Assumpta Onwebule was at the 2017 International Literacy Day in Abuja and now reports.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, reveals that about 750 million adults worldwide still lack the most basic literacy skills. 264 million children and youth are not benefiting from school education. Some of the problems, they say, are inadequate basic digital skills to function fully in the society and workplace. President of the Reading Association of Nigeria, Irene Mbanefo, in a message from the Director General of UNESCO, says the case of Nigeria is how much Nigerian students, especially those at the grassroots, would access and utilize the digital tools.
The event is devoted to better understanding the type of literacy required in a digital world to build more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable societies.
If our children must compete globally, then we need all of us to realize that we are years behind and we must do everything humanly possible to ensure that we leapfrog.
The theme of this year's International Literacy Day is Literacy in a Digital World. In Abuja, Assumpta Onwebule, NTA News.
And it's time for us to join Ademola Adeoye for news making the rounds in that zone. Good evening, Demola.
For me, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has announced that the ongoing reconstruction and expansion of Airport Road into 10 lanes will also include 2 flyovers and 3 pedestrian bridges. The governor made this known at a meeting with stakeholders in the axis to solicit their support and cooperation as construction commenced on the project. Nosa Osula reports.
Had earlier stated that the poor state of the road is not acceptable for the status of the state as the 5th largest economy in Africa and the nation's commercial hub. Governor Ambode, who was represented by the Commissioner for Waterfront Infrastructure Development, Adebowale Akinsonya, said that the state government took it upon itself to undertake the reconstruction of the road, being one of the busiest roads in the state, with vehicular volumes average of 50,000 vehicles daily.
There are bound to be some inconveniences during the construction period, but measures have been put in place to mitigate the impact. We therefore solicit your cooperation, support, and understanding.
Members of the Lagos State House of Assembly urged residents and motorists to cooperate with the state government while the construction would last, saying that the intention was to transform the area.
In terms of economy, the community will benefit from it. Also, the nation as well will benefit from it.
The primary objective of the stakeholders meeting is to sensitize people of the area about the projects. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
Regular physical activity is one major way to reducing non-communicable diseases like hypertension, stroke, and cardiovascular diseases. This was emphasized at a forum organized by the Physiotherapy Department of the National Orthopedic Hospital, Igbobi, to mark the 2017 World Physiotherapy Day. Joy Ken Abakboya has the details.
Statistics show that physical inactivity is the 4th leading risk factor, responsible for 60% deaths globally. The 2017 World Physiotherapy Day, tagged Physical Activity for Life, is therefore geared towards educating the public on the many benefits of physical exercise.
Movements and exercise actually help so much in improving the quality of life. From research findings, we've discovered that this has reduced the risk of having these diseases by most of them between 20 to 38%.
We encourage people to move
with every opportunity they have.
Experts at this forum emphasize that the role of a physiotherapist is to promote health holistically through deliberate body movements and specific exercises, consequently restoring lost functionality. They listed high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and coronary heart diseases as some health issues that could arise from physical inactivity.
It's very important to stay healthy. We need to stay physically active. We should reduce our sedentary lifestyle.
The experts advised Nigerians to engage in frequent workouts to reduce the risk of hospital visitations. The World Physiotherapy Day is marked on the 8th of September every year to raise awareness on the significance of physiotherapists to the overall well-being of individuals. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakboya, NTN News.
And now to business news. Federal government raises 100 billion naira through the Sukuk to execute road projects across the country. As President, Nigeria Association of Small and Medium Enterprises commends federal government Executive Order 03 on the ease of doing business in the country. Let's now join Abolade Salami for details of these and other stories on our business news segment.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the business news segment. The federal government, through the Debt Management Office, introduced a 100 billion naira sovereign Sukuk bond into the domestic market to aid the development of good road network in the country. The Sukuk, according to the Director General Debt Management Office, Patience Oniha, is part of government's resolve not to borrow to fund recurrent expenditure, but to fund investments.
It is a borrowing that has been approved, and we have a track record of always servicing our debt. So the Sukuk essentially is the same obligation, it's a direct obligation of the federal government.
The 7 years non-interest Sukuk bond, she added, is part of the domestic borrowing in the Appropriation Act of 2017.
It is Sukuk rather than interest, it will earn rental incomes, and then it is not borrowing for general purpose, it is borrowing specific to some assets, and those assets are assets that were roads. They are road projects in this case specific. They were included in the budget. Remember I said the borrowing is to fund the 2017 budget.
The Executive Order 03 recently signed by the federal government to regenerate the economy and create an enabling working environment for small and medium-scale enterprises to thrive has been described as a means to boost the economy and reduce unemployment. President, Nigeria Association of Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises, Oribadegun Agbade, however, appealed for a review of some requirements.
On this Executive Order 3, it's the right way to go. We are now saying that the way the Executive Order is framed now, all these things cannot happen if you now say the MSMEs that form the major bulk of the strata in Nigeria, you now use the same template that you are using for the big organizations, for these small enterprises.
Haniera closing figures of trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
At the close of Friday's trading, volume of shares traded stood at 152 million shares, valued at 3.82 billion naira, which exchanged hands at 4,079 deals, while the all-share index closed at 35,957.24 basis points, with a market capitalization of 12.3 trillion naira. Mobil, with 5 naira 49 kobo gain, led the gainers table to close at 165 naira 1 kobo. Closely followed by Unilever with 1 naira 95 kobo gain to close at 38 naira 5 kobo. Presco, with 3 naira 41 kobo loss, led the losers table, followed by Better Glass, which depreciated by 2 naira 99 kobo to close at 59 naira 84 kobo per share.
And that ends business news segment. The news continues shortly. Please stay with us.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
Begins. The Brain, LG Inverter Technology. Better performance. More energy savings. Now in the entire lineup at LG.
What makes a Nigerian mom powerful?
I encourage my kids to learn new things. And if they get hurt, I rely on the power of my Dettol's One Capful to fight germs.
My family needs protection from germs. I use the power of Dettol's One Capful to disinfect surfaces and clothes.
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Be a powerful Nigerian mom with Dettol.
Discover the liquid freshness of Center Fresh chewing gum that you feel. And others too. Center Fresh. Try.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain, fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
Bayes University Abuja offers world-class education, uninterrupted academic session, and promising degrees. Bayes University Abuja is affordable and delivers quality with experienced international staff, superb facilities, overseas external examiners, and a serene academic atmosphere. We offer quality and affordable education, and students are within easy reach of their parents here at Bayes University Abuja. So learn to live at Bayes University for a brighter future. For more information, visit our website at www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng or call 081 3376 9657 or 081 3376 9658. Bayes University Abuja. Learn to live.
Winning in hot and dry conditions is hard. Causes the body to sweat, which attracts germs that are easily passed from one person to another. What keeps you so cool, man? Dettol Cool combines Dettol's protection and an invincible icy feel. For super cool confidence, use Dettol Cool.
Can the former Dutch footballer Ronald Koeman steer the Toffees to victory against the former Argentine defender Mauricio Pochettino's lily-white Spurs? The world's most wanted league, Everton versus Spurs, Saturday 9 September on Kwese Free Sports for the fan.
And our Benin Network Center is where we go next, and Agatha is there to bring us news from that zone. Good evening, Agatha.
Good evening and a warm welcome to Benin. The national gas flare commercialization.
Well, looks like Agatha is not ready for us, and we're moving now as the National Association of Resident Doctors says it is convening a meeting to respond to the agreement reached with the federal government with a view to ending its ongoing strike. On Good Morning Nigeria this Friday, the Deputy National Editor of the association, Dr. Ige Kolawole, and the Director, Hospital Services at the Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Wapada Balami, affirmed that the agreement reached addressed most of the grievances that led to the strike. Lydia Sampson has more.
With hopes very high that the strike by National Association of Resident Doctors may soon be called off based on the agreements reached with the federal government, Good Morning Nigeria sought to know when this will happen.
And just like it was acknowledged in that meeting, the only body that can call off that strike is the National Executive Council of NAD. And the meeting that will call off that strike, we hold either today or tomorrow.
However, in analyzing issues that led to the strike, the Director of Hospital Services at the Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Wapada Balami, explained that the challenges lies with implementation of past agreements by other tiers of government, while the residency program requires urgent review.
Just to appeal to my colleagues, the resident doctors, to consider the position put forward to them by government. I think government has acted in good spirit to agree on all the issues they brought forward. When they are going to have their meeting, let them look at their job as a job that saves life.
While the resident doctors insist that interns and other doctors not under residency training are entitled to all benefits, the Director of Health Services explained that such line of thought is a misnomer in the medical field, which is universal.
Resident doctor is a doctor that is undergoing residency training, one training or the other, in a teaching hospital or in a federal medical center or even in a state teaching hospital, that is below the rank of a consultant and a permanent medical officer.
Officers are interns. As of today, federal government has approved the central posting of house officers, and FEC has approved that. Government is making a lot of efforts to address the issue of doctors in this country. We do not subscribe to the concept that house officers belongs to resident doctors because they are interns.
While the arguments continue, Nigerians await the calling off of the strike sooner than later. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And it's time to go over to Jos with Mariam as our guide. Mariam, it's over to you now.
Thank you. Good evening. You're welcome to Jos. Comptroller General of Prisons, Jafaru Ahmed, says the Nigeria Prison Service is making efforts in providing prison facilities that will meet global standards. He stated this at the inauguration of the first gas-operated kitchen at the Jos prison. Kim Godz reports that the project is in collaboration with the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC.
For decades, the Jos prison has utilized wood fuel to meet the food needs of the inmates. However, this has come to an end with the inauguration of the first gas-operated kitchen in Jos prison. Inaugurating the project, the Comptroller General of Prisons, represented by the Deputy Controller of Prisons in charge of Works and Logistics, Charles Ahanutu Chukwuemeka, said the modern gas-operated kitchen is provided as part of federal government's effort to improve the quality of prison services that will benefit both prisons personnel and inmates.
It has become imperative for us all to minimize the excessive use of wood fuel.
Head of Sub-Delegation International Committee of the Red Cross, Tanima Jamboban, said the kitchen facility is the needed impetus towards improving the state of prisons in Nigeria.
I was very happy to see that there was a willingness from the authorities as well to collaborate with us on improving the kitchen facility for those who work in it.
Fire extinguishers and storage facilities were also provided for the safety and hygienic storage of food in the prisons. In Jos, Kim Godz, NTA News.
Bauchi State Committee on Administration of Justice has released 194 prison inmates from 5 prisons across the state. Chairperson of the committee, who is also the State Chief Judge, Justice Rabi Talatu Umar, disclosed this while addressing Bauchi prison inmates after reviewing their cases. Bature Bala Malumfashi has this one.
Justice Rabi Umar said the measure is part of effort by the prison administration in the state to decongest prisons, adding that beneficiaries of the justice include the sick, elderly, first-time offenders, and those who committed minor offenses. She said the cases of other inmates still in prisons will be looked into in due course. The chairperson commended the state governor for giving the committee all the support to perform its assignment, which according to her facilitated the achievement it has so far recorded. The chief judge called on the released prison inmates to be of good behavior by avoiding committing any offense that could send them back to prison. She said the committee is collaborating with police prison authorities and the State Ministry of Justice to ensure speedy dispensation of justice.
My advice to the inmates is they should turn a new leaf and be of good behavior, because this is a chance for them to amend their way of living.
Some of the released prison inmates speak.
I am very, very grateful. I am very grateful. God have done it for me.
In Bauchi, Batura Balamanan Pashi, NTA News.
And that's all we have from here for tonight. It's over to you for what's left of the news. Good evening.
Thank you. And we have more reports, but after this time out, don't go away.
Helen!
You do great value shopping.
Absolutely. I'm a champion at getting value.
Then you must have bought the Hapic 200 ml.
Why Hapic when I have this?
Even after applying them 10 times, they won't give a sparkling clean toilet.
Impossible.
Challenge. Detergent and bleach can't give a sparkling clean toilet even after 10 times. But Hapic 200 ml gives a sparkling clean toilet at one go.
Wow.
Hapic 200 ml. Real deal. Now only 200 naira.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC as an agency is indeed doing so much to protect the health of our nation. I urge everyone to support NAFDAC in ridding the country of fake drugs and unwholesome products.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Thanks for being there. And now sports with Kene Imabudike.
The curtain is set to fall on the 2016-2017 season of the Nigeria Professional